right, so first of all, today you have an assignment. Some of you got a jump start on it yesterday because I did post it. It's not due till Monday, but some of you got a jump start. We have changing fractions to decimals. We have following some perfect squares. We have solving square roots. And then down here, given a number, circle or highlight all of the categories that number falls into. I'll give you this hint. Every single number that we have talked about is a real number. So from there, you'll circle all of them that it belongs to. They all belong to at least 2. So you're going to be circling or highlighting at least 2. You can choose to submit your answers to me by writing on this document. So you would open the Word document, edit, write it on it, save it, attach it, and you'll hit Turn In and Submit. Or you can choose to type out your answers. Just be sure to put like 1/3 equals, 2/5 equals, and then attach that, turn in, and submit. Or you can choose to handwrite them, take a picture of it and attach it, or take a picture of it and send it to me in a message in Teams. All of those are options for how to submit it. If you have issues with submitting it, please do it. This is due by Monday. If I don't get it Monday at midnight, it starts having 10 points off each day. I have not been taking off late work on anybody's assignments, but I am now going to start taking off late work now that we've gotten the hang of the computers. So this is due Monday before midnight. All right, and if you have any questions, just message me a chat. Let me know. All right, so for today's lesson, we are going to be looking at ordering numbers. So I did attach this. This is what my in-class students are going to be gluing down into their notebooks. But we're going to draw it. So I drew it. I drew my number line. I put that it was least to greatest. And I put my 5 numbers. If you need to pause to write that down, please go ahead and pause now and push play when you're done. All right, you should have that written down by now. So what we're going to do is we're going to change each of these into a decimal. They're all in different forms. I have some mixed numbers. I have a square root. I have an irrational number here. I've got a fraction and a fraction. So what I want to do is go ahead and change them all into a working form, and decimal is the easiest working form. So you can use a calculator if you want to on this, or work them out by hand. But 3 1/5 is going to be 3.2. Square root of 14. I'm going to show you my phone, or you can use a regular calculator if you want to. But almost every single phone that I know of, when you flip the screen, when you turn it sideways, it gives you more options. Okay, and that's where you're going to find your square root button. Some you have to push the number and then hit the square roots. Mine is not that way. Mine, you hit square root, then 14. I do have a Samsung if that helps. I'm going to push equals, and I'm just going to do it to 2 decimals. So 3.74. And then pi, 3.14. If you don't know that, a lot of calculators have a pi button. So if I push the pi button and just push equal, it will tell me the 3.14. It's not something you have to have memorized. So this one, square root of 36 is 6. That is a perfect square. Divided by 2. 36 divided by 2 is just 3. And then 11/3. So 11 divided by 3 is 3.6 repeating, but we're just going to put 0.66. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure they all have the same number of decimal spots. So my most that I have is 2 decimals, so I'm going to add zeros behind these so that they all have 2 decimal spots. All right? So we're going to go from least to greatest. So think of this as money. That's why I like doing 2 decimals. Which one is the least amount of money? $3. So I'm going to come up here, find my 3, and I'm going to put an arrow and say that is my square root of 36 over 2. It is important that you put it back into its original form. We do not want to use the 3 because that wasn't my original number. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on that because I can see it might be hard. Alright, so I've used that one. I like to put little check marks so I know. The next one is 3.14. So this is 3.5, so 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4. So I'm going to go to my 3.1. I'm going to go a little bit past it, just a little bit. Put my arrow, and that's pi. My next smallest is 3 1/5, which is 3.2. So 3.1, 3.2. So put 3 1/5 there. My next smallest is 11/3. So I'm going to go 3.5, 3.6, past my 3.6. That's my 11/3. And then my last one is 3.74, so 5, 6, 7.4, which is my square root of 14. Now I'm going to say this multiple times. Be sure to put it back into its original numbers. So when I put this in order from least to greatest, it's going to be square root of 36 over 2, comma pi, 3 1/5, 11/3, and square root of 14. So the trick is to change them all to the same working form. Decimal is the easiest working form with 2 decimal spots, and then put them in order from there. Alright, let's look at another one. So I drew a squiggly line. I'm going to put this under it. Go ahead and pause and write this down, and push play when you've written it down. Alright, you should have it written down by now. So it says descending. This is going to be one of our vocabulary words next week. So we need to figure out what descending means. Descending is going down. So I'm going to go greatest to least. I'm going to just write it really small under it. Greatest to least. So my first thing I want to do is to change each of these into their decimal form. So I'm going to do square root of 11, which is 3.32. So 3.32. It's actually 3.316, but that 6 tells me get on up. I'm going to keep my 3.1 as 3.1. I'm going to make this into a little table like I did above. 16/5, so 16 divided by 5 is 3.2. Pi plus 1, so you can actually put pi in your calculator, or you can just do 3.14 plus 1, which is 4.14. And 3 3/4 is 3.75. So my first step is to change them all to decimals. Second step is make sure they all have the same decimal spots. 2, add a 0, 2, and 2. So put them in order from greatest to least. Sorry. So I'm going to look at it as money. My highest one was pi over 1, so pi plus 1, check mark. My next highest was 3 3/4, check mark. My next highest is $3.32, which is square root of 11. Then my next is 16/5. And my smallest was the 3.1. Again, notice I put them back in their original forms. All right? Now we're going to slide to the left side. So the left side of your paper. So we're still on page 6 of our journal. Yesterday on page 5, you were supposed to put your vocab. And so I'm just going to slide over to the left. I do that so that everything on the same topic is opened at the same time. So we're going to go to the left side. Alright, so what I want you to do is go ahead and write this down. We're going to start by talking about what increasing is. But what I want you to do is pause the video, write it down. When you're done, push play. Alright, so you should have already written it down, push play. Increasing. So I'm going to go up this time. So I'm going to be going least to greatest. Alright. And what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and do this one by yourself. So first step, change it to decimals. You may use a calculator. Second step, put all my decimals into where they have the same number of spots, and then put them in order thinking of money. When you are done, so I want you to pause this video, I want you to put them in order, and when you're done, unpause the video and check your answers. It's very important that you do try these on your own. I know it's easy just to copy my answers down, but you will not be learning as much if you just copy. So go ahead and try it, and when you're done, push play. Alright, hopefully you tried it on your own. You may notice my decimals might be a little bit different than yours. I worked these a little bit backwards, and this one you might have put a different thing for the third one, or you might have chosen just to do 2 decimal spots for each of them. That's okay. It will all give you the same answer, whether you went to 2 decimals or 3 decimals. It will all give you the same. Alright, so one more thing we're going to look at. So this is putting a group of them in order, but also looking at which side and using our greater than, less than, equal sign to put which side is bigger. So we're going to look at a couple examples. I'm going to let you try some. So we have square root of 11 plus 2, and then we have square root of 16 minus 1. Okay, so I'm going to start with square root of 11. So that is not a perfect square, so I'm going to use my calculator to do square root of 11. Push the equal sign. So when I push equal, it gave me that number, and then from there I just can push the plus 1, and it'll add it automatically to it. So I'm going to go 2 decimals again. So I get 4.32 or 3.166, but I rounded. Square root of 16 is a perfect square, so 4 minus 1 is 3. So which one is bigger? The left side. So I use, I know this is kind of elementary to think of it, but the alligator eats the bigger side. Alright, let's look at another one. So square root of 25 plus 1 and pi plus 2. So square root of 25 is 5, because it's a perfect square. 5 plus 1 is 6. Pi is 3.14 plus 2 is 5.14. Again, my left side was greater than. Alright, I'm going to give you one to try on your own. So square root 49 plus 2. And let's do 3 pi, which means 3 times pi. So I want you to pause this video, and I want you to push play when you have worked it out. Alright, so square root of 49 was 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. 3 times 3.14, which I did on my calculator, was 9.42. So the bigger side was 3 pi. One last one I want you to try by yourself. So write it down, and then I want you to pause and push play when you have an answer. Remember, it is important that you are doing these on your own as much as possible. Alright, 2 1/7 was 2.14. It's actually a lot longer than that, but I rounded to 2 decimal places. And then square root of 5 was 2.23, and I know it's a lot more than that, but we only needed 2 decimal spots. Square root of 5 is larger, so it goes to the bigger side. Alright, that's your journal, page 6 today. Remember, today your vocabulary is due to me before midnight, or it's 10 points off. Your vocabulary are combined together for a major grade, so it is very important that you're keeping up with it. Also, you have an assignment for today. This assignment, it took the students in class like 10 minutes to do it at most, so I encourage you, you can type it, submit it. If you have issues submitting, please let me know. Be sure that you are keeping up with your work. Some of you found out very quickly that when you got behind, it was really hard to catch up. You're doing a great job on your warm-ups and getting them done, so good job there, guys. Just be sure you're also keeping up with your videos. Watch all the videos. Hopefully you watch this one to the end. All right, have a good day.